Hi, my name is Holly and I am Taka's partner. I grew up in Kiama on the south coast of New South Wales, but I've been living in Sydney for a number of years now. Growing up, I predominantly drank black tea because that's what my family drank. As I got older, I started to drink herbal teas and green teas, but it wasn't until I met Taka that I fell in love with Japanese and specifically organic Japanese teas. Together with Taka, I studied my beginner's Japanese tea course with the Global Japanese Tea Association, and I'm currently studying my Tea Masters course with Australian Tea Masters. Over the last year and a half that I have been working with EdoMatcha, I have learnt so much about tea. However, I know that I still have so much more to learn, and I'm just really excited to be able to bring great quality, organic Japanese teas to the people of Sydney, around Australia, and even around the world.
What's up, everyone? I'm Taka from EdoMatcha. I was born in Sydney and I was raised in Japan and I moved back to Sydney about 10 years ago. And I grew up drinking tea in Japan with a teapot, and there was always teapot and teas on our table when I was a kid. And then after I moved to Sydney, Australia, I was missing good quality green tea. And then one day after I surfed, I decided to sell good quality organic teas in Australia. So I decided to start EdoMatcha about 5 years ago. Since then, we have been selling our teas at the local markets. So we had a little cozy shop on King Street, Newtown for about a year. And now we are kind of shifting the business style to more online. That's why we decided to start our YouTube channel. This year, I have decided to become a Japanese tea instructor. So I'm taking a course, and I got the physical exams in Japan in November and February. So I can be more knowledgeable, so I can give you more, spread the authentic information with you guys. I like to surf, I like to dance, especially locking and popping. I love music. Also, I like to eat. I love food. So like I said, I grew up drinking green tea with teapot. And actually, my grandma and also my cousins, they lived in Tokoname, Aichi Prefecture. That's the most famous place for Japanese handmade teapots. So I was always using Tokoname teapots. So this is the one from Tokoname. Yes. And then we have a lot of authentic Japanese teawares all over Japan. So when I started my business, I was fortunate to deal with local Japanese tea firms in Japan. At the time, yes, matcha was already very popular, but it wasn't that popular, at the moment right now. So, chasen supplier, whisk suppliers, teaware supplier, also organic tea firms, they were not that busy at the time. So I was able to start doing a business with them. And also, me coming from Japan, I speak Japanese, of course, so that was very helpful to communicate with them because people in Japan still don't speak English much. So yeah, that was very fortunate for me. And now, as you know, especially matcha got so popular, it's almost impossible to buy matcha or any matcha tools from the supplier in Japan. They are so busy at the moment, they cannot keep up the demand at the moment. Yeah, and then, recently we've seen a lot of news about, the demand of matcha it's just increasing.
Yeah.
Yes. So EdoMatcha, we only supply organic Japanese teas. Only 5% of tea production in Japan is organic. So even if you visit Japan, you won't come across organic teas in Japan because it takes a lot of efforts to grow teas organically. unfortunately, people use a lot of pesticides for growing tea. And then I personally think it makes such a big difference, non-organic tea and organic teas. And then, yes, EdoMatcha, we only supply organic teas.
It's important not just for the consumer and for their health, but it's also really important for the environment too. And then also all of the staff that work on the farms, it's incredibly important to their health too.
Edo is a historic period during samurai era, which lasted about 260 years in 16th century. Yes, and I used to do kendo. It's a Japanese sword fighting. I did it for 5 years. I was practicing every day, before school, after school, and in the night. And most of our kendo teachers were police officers, so the training was very strict. But yeah, I enjoyed playing sword fighting a lot. And yeah, that's why I picked Edo. Actually, Edo period was established after Tokugawa family empire Japan. So there were not so many battles happening during samurai era. That's why tea ceremonies and all the Japanese art flourished. So during this era, so many art, including tea culture, flourished, and people really enjoyed our local Japanese culture, including tattoo cultures too. The reason I used the matcha for, EdoMatcha is that I was aware of that matcha was getting popular at the time. And then, I just wanted to catch our customers' attention because people now know about matcha. So that's why I put matcha. And then, yeah, it became EdoMatcha. I actually started when COVID hit.
Yeah, 2020.
In 2020.
Yeah,
that's correct. I had a lot of time because I was in lockdown. I couldn't go anywhere, and so I did a lot of time for researching, organic Japanese tea farms, and then there are not so many people producing organic teas. Yeah, so I did a lot of research, and then that's when I understood that organic tea is actually very rare, only 5% of tea production. But fortunately enough, I contacted maybe 10 organic tea farms in Japan, and then I was able to start dealing with 2 organic tea farms at the time. And then after the COVID pandemic was over, I visited those 2 tea farms, and then also I contacted 2 additional tea farms. So now we have 4 different organic suppliers at the moment. Yes, and then my aim is having more organic teas in our product range, and not only matcha and green tea, but other types of Japanese tea. We have a lot of different teas. So yeah, that's we are working on at the moment.